Hello everybody, Temp 2 recording this. So what we have here is a box of watches. Many watches are in here. I know what you're thinking, Mr. Bloody Awful, you've just showed us a video of loads of watches. They're all over there. I can't show you the ones over there. By the way, this is flipped, so you're seeing what I'm seeing, which is why it's confusing for me, because usually I get the opposite effect. So, sorry about the quality. I'm trying out recording on the PC. Yes, this is a legal safe carry knife to have in the UK for anyone that's trying. This, for the Americans watching, that's all you're allowed in the UK. No word of a lie, that is all you're allowed. But this will do fine, you don't need much more than that. I'm not getting threatened too much, I'm quite a big fella, people tend to leave me alone. The way the world's going, you don't want to risk it, do you? Let's open this up. Don't ever cut towards you, ladies and gentlemen, which is exactly what I just did. And it opens. I am very excited. Let's close this. You also, for part of legal, you can't have it, so it cannot lock. It has to be able to push, unlock anything without a mechanism. It's so stupid. I got this off Amazon because it was very pretty wooden handle where most people would keep scales. Sorry, would put scales on for grip. You don't need grip. And it's also very difficult to lock and unlock. It's not locking or unlocking. Oh, I'm getting myself in trouble. Anyway, bosh. Do I need to cut here too? No, we've done it. There we go. Fantastic. Off the bat, they've packaged very home packaging. I like that. This is just a watch bundle. When I can afford it, which is rarely, I will buy bundles of watches. Is there anything in here? No. Fuck the box. We don't need it. Let's go one by one out of the lucky bag, shall we? First one I've pulled. I have absolutely no idea what that is. Will it focus? It is supposed to focus, it being best autofocus camera. Yes! So you're looking at a terrain watch. Does it have a twisty? Oh, it's got a good sound, look. I like a twisty bezel, I do. So this is by a company called Terrain. It's a sport watch, Japanese movement. Terrain International. Will that show up on there? It will. God, that needs a polish, doesn't it? Let's pretend I didn't just immediately show that. That's not any bloody better. Anyway, that's the first one to come out. Very thick straps. I should think they're the first straps that came with the watch. It's in good nick. I reckon this just needs a battery replacement. I know absolutely nothing about this one, so that'll be something for us to look into. Let me know if you want a separate video on that. The next one is the reason why I bought this, I'll admit, folks. But I have been a bit scammed, but that is the way you see. This is the casing of, if it focuses, a Seiko quartz. However, absolutely nothing in the back. So what this is here is a dial only. Now that could be worse. Is this a top opener? There's not even a case back with it. So we're gonna. They've just left the dial. What the hell? That's so bizarre. This is I might make a series out of trying to repair this if the dial's in good nick, which I've no idea if it is or not, because I wouldn't be able to tell you how to get this out. There's a lip there that can remove this part, so let's try that. You know what, I wasn't going to do any work whilst in this video. There you go. So this is the state of the dial itself. It doesn't need too much repair work on it, but it does need some. It's had a bit of damage going to it, but it looks to be original, which is what surprises me. Do you know, I'm a bit lost for words here. I've never touched this before, and it does need... There is damage to the dial. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. There you go. You'll be able to see the damage done. This is a decent casing, but there's no case back to it. I can pop the glass out. I should... What's happened here, folks, is it has exploded, as you will now see. That's alright, I could use one piece of this to take a thickness measurement for how thick I need to replace the glass with. And I could use my calipers to measure the inside. So that is not what I wanted. An ow! Bit of glass on it. but could be worse in all honesty. So we're going to use a legal safe carry once more to knock out any bits from the inside. Now, I don't often do this with knives because you can dull the knife tip, but I don't have a better tool for it. There is, of course, a better tool for the job, but the rubber seal is going to be destroyed in here too. So you've got to be very careful. I'm just going to give it quite a few smacks because now it's just a metal casing, which you can smack a bunch because I can polish. Cool. Anyway, apparently that was really loud, so I apologise. So we'll clear this mess up, which I'm going to do on recording, so you know there's no cocking about here. This is also where I play my video games, this desk. That's why there's a whole PC set up, so it's quite funny that I've had to improvise, adapt, and overcome. So, we're going to grab out of my box here, my trusty box, one of these. And we are going to scrape off onto my plums a bunch of glass. Now, for anyone saying, why using this tool? I don't have a better one. The knife is all I have. This will be immediately deposited into the glass bin. Now, not that I zoomed in for this, because you can't see it, because I don't want you to see embarrassment, but I actually didn't miss any shards of glass so far. Jinxing it, of course, for the next one. So that is shards of glass. Isn't that a song? No, it's Casting Glass. Linkin Park. Because I'm only a crack in this castle of glass. Please avoid my awful singing. I have no sense of embarrassment. We now take one of these and wipe down the desk free of glass. I'll take a hoover round at some point soon. But we now have a nice clean desk. Let's just wipe through here too. Lovely. I'll also take this very same one, which I shouldn't do. No, yeah, it's damage to the dial. I can't sort that. That's a shame, isn't it, folk? That'll be your food arriving. Terrible editing. Right. So let's pop this in the bin and we'll get straight on to the next one. Sorry about that, folks, but these things do happen. For the sake of the video, I will pop the mouse out of the way. I do apologise. I'll pop the case back here. Close the video down, close the knife down until we need it again. Make sure the camera's still focusing. It is perfect. Bit of a struggle with the autofocus, this one, I think. Right. Next one, moving onwards and upwards. This doesn't have a case back. It's an... I'll be damned. Right. This is, let's pop it this way, the case falling out of the movement. Oh shit. Right, okay, well let's just let that come out. I'm guessing there's no... Oh, there is a crown in this. Okay, cool. Well, let's just take that out, shall we? So I'll grab my pliers just so I can show you properly. Because I want you to be able to see what we're working with. So, which one will be... There we go. That is the stem and crown removed. Pop that to one side. I will then find... Oh, I've lost all sorts. I guess it's coming out of retirement. Pop that on there. He doesn't want to. Fair enough. There we go. Now, the subdial, of course, doesn't work on this. It is an old Ingersoll. I'd say... Bloody hell. 80s odd? Let's get it facing the right way. I keep forgetting that the camera's facing the right way for once. There you go. An American Ingersoll by the looks of things, Route 66. It's actually quite pretty, but I don't think the case hasn't got a case back. Unless the case back is in here. There are a couple of case back. There it is! I'll be damned. The case back is right here, folks. Which you can't see because of the bloody awful camera that I've got. Like, comment, subscribe. So what I'll do is I'll put this back in, facing the right way. Usually I'd use gloves for this, but that movement's got a bit of rust look aware in it anyway, so I might have to replace that movement entirely if I want to get this to work, which is fine. I'm sure there'll be a replacement for that. Pop this back in. I'll try it with just a new battery at some point, but for any Americans out there, I'm going to pop new straps on this and pop this up for sale on eBay or my Vinted page, which I shall leave a link to both if either of you are interested. Anyone in America, because this is an American watch. I will take this. I might need the case back tool to pop this one down. I do, yeah. Should we do that on stream or should we just get through the bag? On stream, on recording. Solid. We'll put this to one side. We'll face it upwards now. We'll do that another time. Maybe I'll make a video out of it like I did the MG. We'll see. We'll have a look. Next, we have a very heavy Swiss Army watch. That is cool. That is actually quite cool. That's actually pretty cool. Swiss Army watch. Move this out of the way so it can focus. Bloody Nora doesn't like to focus, does it? There you go. A Swiss Army watch. Now, of course, you've got no subdials here. The 3 subdials aren't actually functioning, and the subdial hand has come off from its painted point. So this would be a hell of a repair job if I was to get round to it, because I don't have anything. I have some ultraviolet glue somewhere I could use for this. It also smells a lot, so I'm going to put the bracelet in the ultrasonic tank, I think. Give that a bit of a clean up. But that's actually really cool. It's very weighted, very well weighted indeed. Is that all fit for the camera? So that looks straight to me, but not on the camera. Things that aren't important in editing whatsoever, but we'll go with it. Next one we have here. You know, I've not seen anything like this before. It's got a green tinted glass. It can't be sapphire because it's scratched, and not that sapphire is unscratchable, but it is harder to scratch than most. Now this is a diamond shaped. If you can see it, I'll shine the light over it so you can see the not diamond shaped. Forgive me. What would this be? I can't remember what the word for six lined outcrest here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Septagonal, sextagonal. We're gonna go with sextagonal because I can't remember the word. This is gorgeous. It's a Charles Raymond watch. You'd have seen a lot of your dads or granddads wearing this type of watch, to be honest. I've personally never seen this or heard of it, so I'm going to do some information. No bezel, it's all built in, as you can see on the side. That's properly cool, though. I've never seen anything like that. I love finding out new bits and bobs, because there'll be someone in the comments that tells me all about these things, and it just really interests me. Because it is it was a job that I did that I then continued as a hobby when I left the company, because it was a terrible company. Yeah, this is gorgeous. I quite like this. It's a weird looking gorgeous. I don't know how many people would find that gorgeous, but I do. Don't mind the very cheap quality bacterial wipes that I use to get rid of the initial dust. Nothing to see here. Right, we're coming up to the last few, I believe, already. So let's make some speed fight, shall we? I've absolutely no idea what this is, but bloody hell, look at the design on the back of that. That's beautiful. It looks to me like it was once gold plated and the plating's falling off on the side, look. That's very pretty. Lucienne is the brand. Do you see? Lucienne. Now that is gorgeous. Honestly, the things you find that you just people toss away or throw in, because I bought these box of watches for 20 quid. I don't usually tell the prices, but if I can encourage others to do this as well, it'll be fun. The Perspex glass is in very good nick. I've never seen anything like that, but it is very pretty, so that we're going to investigate too. Should I bring the lamp down and then turn the main light on. Let's figure it out. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. It's a bit brighter down here. But the natural lighting is throwing it so you can't see the dials, look. Yeah. Even if I bring them, if I bring this down, would you be able... Okay, so I have to bring them down here. And then you can see. That's fine, I can do that. Why don't I pop them down here? There we go. Lucienne and the Ingersoll. There we are. Right, let's get moving, shall we? So, what's the next one? Don't want to keep you guys for too long. This is just a bog standard. I love the design of this. I know that people will think I'm mad for loving the design of this because it's so simple. But it's also quite well sized. I ignore the benchmark of watches, bob-omb. If I was to pop this on my wrist. It's very well sized. I'd say, what's that, 38mm? Not quite sure. And I saw the case back for this in here too, yes. So I reckon I could get this working. But there's no stem. So when there's no stem and crown, I will just Google the movement. Laura's has a very bog standard movement in most of their watches, to be honest. Can't put that on without a case back press. So I'll pop that down there, and you can tell that it's a Laura's one. After we're finished, we'll show you all of them in a row. What is this? Now this is a Timex is it? Fuck, there's no way they made an Indiglo of this design. Oh my gosh. That's insane. So, this is a Timex Indiglo, but I did not realize that they made an Indiglo of this design. Because I love an Indiglo. I'm a big fan. I have two that I'm fixing up at the moment. Come on, you know you want to focus. You will focus. There you go. Look at that. Isn't it pretty? That's so cool. I didn't realize they did that design. I'm gonna have to oh, that's... How do I fix that? Right, well that's something I'll have to figure out about the bracelet too. It's not sitting at all. I mean, I probably could just tighten that, I think. Now I think about it. Anyway, I'll get round to that. But that's a very pretty Indiglo, and I'm going to make sure to repair that. The thing is, the gold on the bezel, even if it's not a rotating bezel, has faded. So I'm not sure how many would even want to buy that. So that might be, unless I replace the bezel. We'll get round to it, folks. We'll have a look. These are the things that we can look at in future. But I've been going for a while now, I think, and I don't want to bore you too much. This is an old lady's limit watch. I've always loved the pearl dial look. I just always have. And if it focuses for you. There you go. I've always adored a pearl dial, or a pearlescent looking dial. This one too will not sell for sod all unless I rehouse it in a different case. Because you could see the copper appearing on the side. Even without focusing, you could see that. So that's something I'll have to consider if I want to rehouse in a different casing. We will see as we go along. Here we are. Oh my days! Now this is a pretty one. So this is a Citizen Quartz tank. I call it a tank. I don't know if you can consider this a tank, but I do. Let's just give it a wash with this wipe before I pop it over to you. So this is a 237075 Japanese movement Citizen Quartz. Now I don't want to bore you with too much in case. I mean, I find all the small details important, but I have not got all the knowledge. If you have better knowledge than me, please do comment it. I'm not one of those that will get angry at you for correcting me. I will be thankful. Very simply put, I love to learn about these things. And if one day I could make this into a living or a job or like a community, I would be so thankful. This is gorgeous. Look at that. That is something that I have to put a strap on, and if I need to replace a movement, I can, but I honestly think it'll be a battery change. That is beautiful. Oh, never mind. It doesn't come with a stem or a crown, so it will be a new movement I put in. But it's quite an old watch, so it might not have a movement I can buy still. So we'll have to look into that. So that'll be a watch. That'll be a bit of research into that. But that is gorgeous if it focuses. Anyway, that is very pretty. Pop that down there. Get the camera to refocus. There you go. Give it a bit of a shake. There you go. So that's the Citizen. I really like that. That's probably the most expensive one in here, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh! This is weird. I've not seen this before either. Casio are full of surprises. Let me tell you something there. That is not something I would expect out of Casio at all. But I am loving it. Check this out. This is beautiful. That really isn't something I would expect out of Casio at all. I don't know why, but the golden case. This must be quite old, I reckon. But it's got an alarm on it. And a chronograph. That is really cool. There's no chronograph hand, though. So I'm going to look into that to make sure it's not missing a hand. It might just be the case of the digital part is the chronograph. But we will see. I think that is the last watch of this collection, folks. So this is what we got out of this box. There's more to come. The case back, there's nothing in there. The Loris. This beautiful, beautiful Lucienne. I'm guessing it's a chain watch, but it's just absolutely gorgeous. The Swiss Army watch. The, what does that say? Charles Raymond watch, which is working, by the way, which I had no idea about. I did not see that when I picked it up. That's embarrassing. And the goddamn American Ingersoll Eagles and shit. I don't think Ingersoll is American, so that'd be pretty cool. Right, thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think of this style of video, the audio, the way it's framed, everything along those lines, because I might need to get a better webcam for this. Take care of yourselves. Thank you so much. This was filmed on the PC, so if you do have any problems with it, let me know. Cheers, guys. May Force be with you, and I forgot to do my outro. I will see you next time. Bye, guys.